Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel One Degree, where we are simply trying to raise awareness and consciousness of humanity. And my brother Reedy, and I am Akashic, the Ancient of Days. And today we are going to talk about, why on your road to spirituality, sometimes you revert back to your old self, detachment. We just gonna flow today and just see where the
Yeah,
road takes us. What do you say, bro?
yeah. This is definitely something that is I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? Some of my old feelings and habits, and um, definitely struggles with that. You know what I mean?
Me
All the
too.
time. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
over. I'm not above it. Trust me.
Right.
I
And
understand it better though, but I'm
yeah,
not above it.
yeah. You still have I don't know thoughts of old guilt. And I told you how I told on the journey about my story. You know what I mean? I still have some of those feelings sometimes. And I don't tend to dwell on them like I used to, but still, like, I don't know, you're wrapped up in your day, you're at work, you're driving in a car, somebody cuts you off, you still, uh, gotta, you know what I mean? It just
Yes, I do.
some days it just wear on you, you know what I mean? And you're like, it's not even that important,
It's
what's
not that
happening here.
important.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's not an attack. It's hard not to get defensive sometimes, just instinctively, just because it's such a habit.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Yeah.
something. I mean, that's the one thing. I started this journey about 8, 9 years ago, and I had to come to the realization, like when I would fall back into my old habits, here and there, I had to come to the realization that, man, I built this person for 40 something years, and now I'm expecting instant change.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know, but doesn't mean not what we want, you know what I mean? It's absolutely because you know truth now, man. You know that all that's not real. That that's not reality. You don't have to react that way, and emotions don't have to have control over you or power over you in any way. We should have power over that. And yeah, when you slip up and you start feeling those old feelings or get back in a feeling of guilt or just get that feeling of wait, what? You know what I mean? Somebody just say something to you like you gotta calm
Pause.
yourself and
You
yeah,
gotta pause for a
you gotta
minute.
pause. Yeah, and that's what I'm figuring out more and more is that pause is so important
It
versus
is.
reacting. Think before reaction, and it's hard. It's really hard, man. And I'm not as far in this journey as you, so and I think you were a lot cooler headed most of the time anyway prior to this journey than I was. So
I mean,
I
this I tell
definitely have a
people,
lot
I
of
tell
moments.
people this all the time, Jay. Just think of it like this. In the Bible, it says that man is promised three score and ten. So a score is 20 years.
Hmm.
So man is promised approximately 70 years.
Yeah,
Some people live longer, some people die at birth, but at the end of the
yeah,
day, all checks balance.
yeah,
So approximately 70 years is what man, as in man of the species, not just men. But
yeah.
and what happens in that 70 years is every 7 years, you are a totally new person.
Hmm.
So from 0 to 7, you're learning how to operate this biomechanical machine. You're learning how to move, talk, how to walk, and make your way in this material realm. From 7 to 14, you're kind of discovering what reality is. You're assessing meaning to everything. And then from 14 to 21, you're discovering yourself sexually. Your body's changing and all this other stuff. From 21 to 28, you're a young adult. You are experiencing freedom. You're experiencing independence. You're learning all those things, how to navigate through the world. And then from 28 to 35, you at that time, most of us have already have kids. Now we're learning parenthood because there's no manual on how to be a parent. So we're
Yeah,
kind of navigating that and guessing and all this other stuff. And then before you know it, at 35, half your life is over.
yeah, yeah.
So theoretically, you get 10 sets of seven.
Wow.
10 sets of seven. And every 7 years, you're not that person who you were 7 years ago. Because the way that I think now is dang sure not the way I thought at
Yeah.
21 or 28 or 35. So I'm literally a new person every 7 years. You're reinventing yourself because of your experience through this third dimensional realm. So, with that, the ego, the adversary, comes along for the ride.
Yeah.
And so it develops traits, habits, likes, dislikes, tolerations. Like I won't put
Yeah.
up with this and all this other stuff. All of the learned behaviors through community, church, school, work, friends, all that
Yeah.
stuff. And it's accumulating all of this data to be you. And now all of a sudden, higher consciousness come in and say, bro, you kind of was going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You're trying to shift who you are within these 10 sets because you're still changing and evolving. You're trying to shift who you are. And that ego who has came along with the ride is like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I still want
Yeah.
to live.
Yeah.
I ain't going without a fight.
It's almost like programming or patterns. You just automatically react on autopilot. Something
I,
happened. It's automatic. It's so ingrained into you by now, you
that's the
know.
ego.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Because
It's
the ego has its own life. And it doesn't, it wants to live. That's why it has tricked you into believing that death, the physical death, is all there is, because if it can do that, then it can get you to grasp onto things. So it, because it wants to live, it will keep pulling you back and throw circumstances in your face that it knows, because it knows you better than you know yourself.
yeah.
It knows you. It
Yeah.
knows the things that's going to set you off. So it says, you know what? He's kind of veering away a little far. Let me throw this reckless driver in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I today it's funny that I brought this up today and you just said that because I things were happening late at work. I kind of got out of there late, got behind a line of traffic going super slow, and I was like, I don't need to be in a hurry. Just deal with it. Finally, the car leading this group finally figured out. I don't even know if they ever figured out where they were going, but they get off and they pull out. They pull into a driveway anyway. I realized they're backing up to go back. They missed wherever they were going. They were just lost, you know. It happens.
It
We're all
happened.
lost sometimes in cars, but it's got to be about me, you know, as I'm sitting at the back of this line. And then I get through that, fine, whatever. The traffic still doesn't pick up much. Finally to turn off to a road and a bus stops. And he's unloading the kids or whatever and one kid gets off and he's just sitting there and just sitting there and just sitting there. I'm like, okay. I'm not gonna let this bother me, you know. And then I realize what he's doing. He's looking at a list. He must be a substitute driver. Where do I go next? You know, where do I got to
Oh,
stop next? And I'm like,
mm,
you're making this about you. And this guy's got it way worse than I do right now. All I'm doing is going home to see my beautiful wife, and my dogs are going to greet me at the door, and she's going to give me a hug when I walk in, and it's about me. Like everybody's in my way. But I didn't get real upset, but it was
you felt
definitely
it
on my
though.
mind. It was definitely on my mind, and I'm not, and I was just aware of that feeling, and I'm like, yeah, that's not. Let's not feed that. Let's not even think about
Hmm.
it. But it's hard, man. It's hard. It's really hard, and it's easy to, you know, you'll get in your head about, like I said, old guilt that I have sometimes. You know, especially I've built walls between my son and I. I've talked about that,
Hmm.
and I'll see those, and man, I just regret decisions that I've made, and I know I'm not that person anymore. And if I were back there as me now, those decisions would have never been made. But you know, I can't change that. That's
Can't.
the only thing that is real is now, and I have to live in the now and be aware of the now. And I know all things work together for my good. Trust that and calm those feelings.
Yeah.
Just
Because the ego, it wants to attach you to your old self. So
yeah,
it'll keep throwing up little things that will keep trying to pull you back.
yeah,
And the one of the biggest things that you said that you now do is being aware that you're aware that it's there.
yeah,
Like, because like you said, most people are just on autopilot.
yeah,
Somebody does something, oh no, you ain't getting away with that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it's just autopilot, but you're able at this point. and most people who get to this level and beyond, they're more aware of being aware of what's really happening. Because
Yeah.
the thing about it is that you have to consider is that when you allow yourself to get mad, two things. One, you've made a conscious decision to be mad.
Yeah.
Like you could choose any emotion you want, and you chose that one. So it's
Yeah.
your decision to even be mad in the first place. And then another thing too, because you start to detach from the things that aren't important, is you realize that anything that makes you angry is your master.
Mm.
And I can't let my ego be my master anymore. And I think
Yeah.
that all the time. Like if I let this situation, circumstance, event, whatever, get to me, then it has power over me. And
Yeah.
even though that's kind of egotistical, it's still I will refuse to give my energy to to those things anymore because I'm aware that what's happening and that this is attacking me, and I have a conscious decision. So even in your worst state, you still are in control.
Yeah.
You're choosing
Absolutely.
to be mad. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Or whatever guilt is,
We're gonna talk
feeling
about
bad.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely am. I recognize it right away, and I don't. Again, I don't like feed into it. I don't like that I start to feel it at all anyway. I just don't want it to try to come up. I don't want to have that feeling. I recognize the feeling right away. I don't react to it, but I feel it. You know what I mean? I feel it trying to come up, and it's like,
Hmm.
no, I have to. I want to get past this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want another level of I don't know, maturity with it. But like you said, it does. There's a fine line there because it does almost feel like you're being egotistical in the sense that I'm not going to let this win. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's a contest or something
Yeah.
on itself.
Yeah. But the thing about it is too, though, is that um that you're never going to, even in meditation, you're never going to totally stop your mind from thinking, and you're
Yeah.
never going to be able to totally stop emotions.
Hmm.
They're going to happen. The key is looking at it. If
Hmm.
you can detach yourself from yourself and look at this emotion as it's rising, and say, why am I having this reaction?
Hmm.
Where is this anger coming from? And pinpoint the anger, and when you're able to do that, now you can transmute it
Yeah.
because your natural reaction that your egregore, your ego, the personality that you cultivated, its reaction always wants to be to the negative. But if
Yeah.
you can pinpoint this emotion, okay, why am I having this anger? And just look at it and
Yeah.
stare at it for a second, then you can transmute that to say, like you even said it, like you was looking at this guy and you was like, man, he's trying his best to get these kids home.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could turn that, you transmuted that emotion. So don't get upset that you still have the emotions because you're going to have them.
Yeah.
We're human. We have emotions for a reason. Just like, we think, like, you can't stop your mind from thinking. It's going to think, but you can have a degree of control over it. You can be aware, you can step back. And I think a lot of people who don't understand that, like you kind of were saying, that you kind of, it annoys you that you still have it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to get. I mean, I'm getting it quickly. I'm catching it quickly, and I'm aware of it. Like you said, I'm very aware of it. I know it right away, and I'm good about not allowing it to grow and get worse.
That's the
But
key.
yeah, yeah, it's yeah, it's just it's important that we talk about it. I think because I mean, anybody listening to this is probably new to this,
Yeah.
and
And
trying to
then
understand it too. And
another thing too, Jay, is that you mentioned, about guilt.
yeah,
Guilt is probably one of the most destructive emotions that you can have, because the most people get guilty because of an intense emotional experience, which is definitely something that you had because you've already explained everything that had went
yeah,
on. But when you let guilt grow in your subconscious mind to a degree, you're telling the universe, I need to be punished.
yeah, yeah,
And the universe has The universe will always seek to balance itself. So whenever you have a guilt, it spikes in your spiritual realm, and the universe has to counteract that and says, okay, he wants to be punished, so we gotta punish him so his ego can say, "You're right. I knew I needed to be punished."
Yeah.
That's the key. That ego is very tricky. It wants you to stay in guilt because it wants to be punished because it feeds off of negative energy. The most addictive substance in the universe is frequency. And so if
Yeah.
it can get you to stay in a low vibration frequency, it's almost like an energy vampire. It feeds off of that. It feeds
Yeah.
off of that. And if you stay in guilt, you're always constantly saying, I need to be punished. And if you stay in that, then the universe has no choice but to acquiesce.
Yeah. And it's going to delay and even stop your manifestations, your
Oh,
abundance.
whew.
Yeah. Yeah. And I realize this. I just, I think it's definitely something that we needed to talk about is because
Mhm.
if I'm dealing with it, I know others are dealing with it. You know what I mean? And
I'm
to
dealing with
hear
it.
that you still are, it is, I guess, comforting to an extent, but you definitely seem to handle things pretty well. You do a good job of staying calm all the time, which I do too. I'm a lot better. I'm a different person. You know that.
Oh
You've
man,
known me for a long time now.
I have.
And I think everybody around me sees it. You know what I mean? Everybody that knows
No
me.
doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's entirely different. Just my entire mindset, the way I think. And I've always been one that people would talk to, and I couldn't be anywhere and somebody would want to talk, you know what I mean? And end up in conversations with strangers all the time. Um, Back then I hated it. I was like, I almost felt like I even said to an extent that I hated people. I just can't stand people. I'd go into the store, hat down, not looking at anybody, do my thing, just always, I don't know, just mad all the time for no reason.
And that ego was feeding. That vampire was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you change, and the vampire's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
ain't
Let's see if
right.
we can get him. Let's see if we can get him mad here. Yeah, and I know that. I know that's it's going to continue. I just wanted to talk about it with
Yeah.
you today, and
The ego wants you to think it's you against the world when it's
yeah,
actually you versus it.
I
It's
was
you versus yourself.
yeah, I was reading Neville Goddard, and he was talking about revision, like revision
Mhm.
of your day. I even went back and revised instances that I remembered where I had done things that I wish I hadn't of, you know what I mean, toward my son and in front of my son, homophobic things, and uh, and revise those moments. You know what I mean?
You
How
rewrote that memory.
how I would hit it now, or how I would have handled it now versus then. I'm not that person anymore, and I need to let that go. I need to let him go and not
He's
think about that.
dead.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
how many lifetimes ago? That I told you every
Yeah.
7 years,
Yeah.
you're in a whole different state of being now.
Yeah, it's hard though. You know what I mean? Because when you're talking about my son, this is my kid. It's hard to just let go of that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but of course, you're my brother, so I know you.
Yeah.
But knowing him, he's let it go more than you have.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I know. I am, I am. I'm definitely over that, but those thoughts creep up sometimes. You know what I mean? It just in
Mhm.
an instance of in passing with him, maybe not having the best interaction with him or something, and it's like,
You
hey,
start second guessing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I guess I got to handle that like my anger and just remind myself that that's not, mm, I don't, that's not the truth, that's not reality, that's not who I am.
And you also got to remember, man, when I was like 24, 25, 26, I didn't want to hang around my parents either.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
for sure. And he's 23, man, and
that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Like, he don't want to hang around you, your
right,
old ass.
right.
He want to do
I'm
his own
cool though.
thing.
I'm cool though. No, I get it. I get it. I do. I just wanted to talk this out. You know what I mean? Just because these are things that I still deal with, and I know that they're going to continue. But I just wanted to pick your brain on ways of that you've dealt with it over time. You know what I mean? And
This is one of the keys of getting over past traumas and emotions. um, is most people try to get over past traumas or negative emotions by ignoring it. That
Yeah.
you can't, if you ignore it, you're signaling to
Yeah.
the universe that it still has power over you.
Mm,
So, in order to get past these negative emotions, instead of ignoring it, you just have to look at it.
mm,
You have to look at it. So, you have to take a negative emotion and make and neutralize it, because the more you just stare at it and the more you go deeper into it, you're neutralizing that negativity. Most people want to just go from negative to positive. That's too big of a jump.
yeah.
Just take it to neutral. If you can take it to neutral, then it starts to lose control over you. So just look at that emotion, whether if it's somebody who is afraid about their bank account, or if it's somebody who's afraid about they just lost a lover or whatever. Look at a picture of them. I know it's
Yeah.
gonna hurt for a minute, but then at each day as you work on this, then it gets less and less and less. And then once you
Yeah.
become neutral to it, then you've defeated it.
Yeah.
You kick that emotion out. The worst thing you can do is ignore it. And a lot of people make that mistake.
Yeah. I definitely don't do that. And the Kabbalion you had mentioned recently as a must read. I 100% agree, must read that. It's definitely where someone should start. The law of polarity, kind of like what you're touching on there. Sadness and happiness are the same thing, just different levels. You know what I mean? It's like hot and cold. What's hot? What's cold? It's all relative. You know what I mean? And shift it slightly, and it's not sad. It's happy, or it's at least neutral, like you're saying. At least find the neutral, the middle way.
And you
See
have
what it's
control over this.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
where you people don't realize how much power they have over their reality. They just
yeah,
let life throw them around, which we did, up until now.
yeah,
But you people don't realize the power that they have to choose. You
yeah,
can choose your reality. Like I said, when you choose a person is sad or mad or all these negatives, you actually chose. You don't think so, but
yeah,
you are 100% responsible for your reality, and they
yeah.
don't get that.
If you get stuck in the past, you're just going to keep repeating it. You're just going to stay with that sadness or that guilt or that anger, whatever it is. Yeah, yeah. Do you do revision like
I
we were
have.
talking about?
I've rewrote a lot of my past traumas
Yeah,
because on a video that we've talked about a couple of times ago about emotional experience and emotional association. And I grew up in a very poor household, and my emotional experience with money was like fear, like, oh my God, I gotta have whatever. So I
yeah,
had to go back into my childhood and rewrite those things and realize that one, that was not in my control, and two, I didn't even know that I was poor when I was
yeah,
in my poorness.
yeah,
And I had to kind of change those to be positive and think of all the positive things that my mom did for me and all this other stuff. And so I had to get out of I had to rewrite that. Another thing that I had to rewrite too is that like I used to do CrossFit and do, bodybuilding shows and all
yeah,
that other
yeah,
stuff. And I had a hidden trauma in that I didn't realize until I did some work on it. I had, gained weight and I was getting, pretty big or whatever. And then I started to try to like lose weight, and it wasn't kind of happening or whatever. And I had to go into like dig deep in my meditation and go into the core memory. And I realized that when I was doing those bodybuilding shows and doing CrossFit, I had the trauma of those diets and taking
mm,
all those vitamins. I hated doing that. I
yeah,
hated only having 6 ounces of meat. I hated, eating orange roughy every day, fish. I
yeah,
hate
yeah,
fish, but I did it anyway. So that became a traumatic event to me. I hated it. I just hated it so much. And
yeah,
and so then every time I was trying to lose weight or get myself back in shape, then my emotional association with losing weight was I hate
trauma.
it. I
Yeah,
hate it. I hate it. So I had to
wow,
rewrite that and
wow,
say, it's man, we have traumas that we don't even know about. Like you have to go to the root of that. Like that was a real trauma for me. And this is actually something that I dealt with like a month or so ago, and since I've dealt with that trauma, like I'm down like 15 to 20 pounds right now. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to rush it or whatever, but I was associating losing weight with something that I hated, and I didn't
Yeah.
even know it, Jay.
Yeah. I could see that for sure. That's wisdom right there, man. Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes it's hard to figure out why we are the way we are. You got to really dig in and try to figure out, well, okay, why is it, what is this coming from? What has happened that caused me to be this way?
You have to stare at it
Yeah,
and look at it and
yeah,
neutralize it.
yeah. It's tough sometimes to look at yourself, just be alone with yourself and just be alone in thought. But yeah, it's man, it's everything. It's so important. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? We have to do that.
And
Yeah,
and the one of the biggest keys, Jay, is forgiveness, not of other
yeah.
people. You got to forgive
No,
yourself.
yeah, yeah.
And I had to forgive myself on a lot of different things to release myself.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when when it's you've hurt your kid or something, somebody that you truly care about, you've hurt them. I get the whole gym thing. I'm kind of a fanatic about it, you know that. And fortunately for me, I work out with my wife every day, so it's quality time with my wife, man. It sucks. I'm not saying it doesn't suck, but it's way less sucky when it's
Yeah,
time spent with her bettering ourselves. You know what I mean? And I also like that pushing through stuff. I got I don't know, something's off, I
yeah.
think. But
But like when you do a show and you got to go to that extreme, like I was down to 3% body fat.
I don't even
Like,
want to know what that's about. Yeah, you weren't
dude,
eating at
to
all.
go,
I remember.
I no, I wasn't. I was barely eating. I was only eating fish. I was eating asparagus. I was, taking supplements. I was a natural bodybuilder, so I wasn't taking
Yeah,
like no bull crap because I
right.
don't put that stuff in my body. But just the discipline it took to get down to that small. I couldn't have any salt because I
Yeah,
needed the skin to pull taut to the muscles. Like just all these little intricate things that I was like, man, I'll never do that again. I
yeah.
sucked. Even sometimes I have thoughts of like, man, maybe I should do one more show. Then that core memory is like, man, kick rocks. We ain't doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. And seeing what you went through is why I wouldn't mess with something like
It's
that. I don't want to.
terrible, man.
Yeah, I don't want to take it to that level. But I do enjoy working out. I mean, to an
Yeah.
extent, it's tough and it sucks. And trying to eat right sucks. I mean, I want to eat all the bad stuff because it's so good. I'd love to have pizza and ice cream every day.
Yeah. And that's where like we tell people, like we said on another video before, where people try to change an effect with an effect. It's
Yeah,
not going to work. You got to go into the other realms. You got to change the cause.
yeah,
Once you can rewrite the cause, then the effect will naturally happen because now I'm okay. Like mentally, I'm cool. Like that was an experience that happened 3 lifetimes ago, but I'm good now. Like you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that was good, man. That was
Yeah.
good. But I wanted to go into some detachment stuff. Maybe we'll do that next video. I
I
don't
knew
want to
this
make
was
these
going to
videos
turn into a lot
too
more than we
long.
thought.
I want to keep
Yeah,
them, because we could
yeah.
talk all night.
I
But
know, and I know this one's going to get like that. I said before, some of these are going to have to be two part, just because we can get into conversations and go forever, which is I love. But yeah, you got to keep it down for
yeah. So
the
let's
channel.
say um, the next time we're going to talk about how to
Detachment.
detach, why detachment is important, and the
Yeah,
proper way to do it. We'll deal with that on a whole separate video. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that'd be awesome. That'd be
So.
awesome.
All right, man, we're gonna close this one out. We don't, like I said, we don't want to make them too long. Attention spans get a little short sometimes. So,
Yeah.
until the next video, 1 degree.